From Melanie's return, giving all the passengers newfound hope, to everyone getting divided after finding out Andre lied about the New Eden data, the showrunners always seem to find a new way to drag on the Snowpiercer endlessly. Like the constant cast changes when the show could have ended with Season 3. Now don't get me wrong, each new addition to the cast did an amazing job, but it's hard to invest in a character's storyline when they're constantly changing. It's like trying to follow a TV show where every episode has a different lead character. It's confusing and doesn't allow us to fully connect with the story. Sure, Daveed Diggs and Sean Bean were both back to reprise their roles, but they were joined by some new faces for Season 3.
So go on. Or are we just going to stand here pissing off our pals?
When fans wanted to know more about Melanie and her daughter instead, especially with the way Season 2 ended, with her fate up in the air. So naturally, everyone was dying to know if she was alive or not. Instead, she didn't make an appearance in the Season 3 premiere. All the fans got were new characters that Leighton encountered in the wild, and they weren't having it. There was even a fight in an underground bunker in Season 2 when he brought someone back to the Snowpiercer. But fans were disappointed when they found out it wasn't Melanie. Now, with her back in Season 3, fans are left wondering what her return could mean for Season 4. Will she be a hero or a villain? What will her interactions with the newer cast members be like? Well, nobody knows. Heck, nobody knows if Season 4 is even happening or not, which gives fans all the more reason to wonder why the showrunners didn't just end the series with Season 3, instead of dragging the show on longer than needed. Don't get me wrong, the show continued to explore complex themes like survival, power, and humanity in a post-apocalyptic world. And the writing and acting was top-notch, but the anticipation of what's going to happen next is insane. Speaking of which, let's talk about the upcoming season and the long wait in between episodes. I mean, come on, they always keep everyone waiting with a shocking cliffhanger, and the same thing happened with the Season 3 finale. The fight for New Eden was all the rage. We see Melanie returning to the train only to learn that Andre Leighton lied about the New Eden data. That's the last cliffhanger they left fans on, where they were left with Melanie and Leighton's opposing sides fighting over where the train would go. It was a battle royale, with Melanie and her supporters controlling the train's engine and Leighton, who had apologized for his dirty politics and regained support, controlling the back half. Worst of all, both sides were willing to resort to violence, if necessary. And then Wilford escaping made fans think that maybe they're going to keep dragging that storyline, especially after Melanie went back to him for his help. But, thankfully, he got cornered and sent off in the same solo car he stranded her in. Still, though, considering how many times he's come back, it wouldn't be surprising to see Wilford return, especially since Cavill was brought back after being off-board for most of Seasons 2 and 3. Not to mention, Wilford is just as cunning and resourceful as Cavill, so it's possible that he knew of other survivors and had a hand in the missile launch in the finale of Season 3, but more on that later. One thing everybody can agree on is that Sean Bean played the character quite well. But get this, Clark Gregg and Michael Aronoff were announced for Season 4 on the day of the finale. So it seems they may make up for Bean's absence, however long that may last. Sure, the villain may have finally been taken care of, but that wasn't the most shocking part of the finale. No, that honor goes to what happened next. Melanie and Leighton decided to compromise and split Snowpiercer in two. This way, those who wanted to take a chance on New Eden would go with Leighton's train, while those who wanted to wait until it was safe would stay with Melanie on hers. And of course, this decision led to some pretty heart-wrenching moments. Alex chose to go with Leighton's train, breaking Melanie's heart all over again, and Bess planned to go to New Eden, but she changed her mind so she could stay with her new love, Audrey. Meanwhile, Ruth, Zara, Javi, and Josie all stayed with Leighton, and the latter two even rekindled their romance in the excitement of possibly leaving the train. And the gamble paid off. New Eden was warm enough for people to leave the train. But of course, this is Snowpiercer we're talking about, so things couldn't just end on a happy note like they should have. Instead, they jumped forward 3 months to Melanie steering the train toward New Eden, only to see a bomb go off in the sky. Fans were shocked by all the changes that went down in this episode. It was a roller coaster of emotions, and just when we thought things were finally looking up, everything came crashing down again. But hey, that's Snowpiercer for you. It keeps fans on the edge of their seats, always wondering what's going to happen next. So, what's in store for Season 4? Well, I know that Clark Gregg and Michael Aronoff have been announced as new cast members, so they're sure to bring even more drama and confusion to the show. And as always, the twists and turns have left a negative impact on fans. I mean, that's understandable. You see, everybody thought that the season would end once they finally found New Eden, as it should have. But it's been over a year since the third season aired, and fans are getting impatient now. The series has unfortunately become a train that seems like it'll never actually reach its destination. After all, it is based on a movie with a definitive ending, and it seems like they're just dragging this on. Now, don't get me wrong, everybody loves the TV series, but it's important to remember its roots. The movie was a hit, and it had a definitive ending. But if the show continues to drag on, it risks losing its fan base, and no one wants that. Now, nobody's saying the show wasn't good, but sometimes it's better to leave a good thing alone and move on to new projects. I mean, if you're a Snowpiercer fan, you probably waited a whole week for each episode to drop. And once you finally got done waiting with the finale, you get a new cliffhanger. What gives? Of course, this decision has sparked some controversy among fans, especially the people who prefer to binge-watch entire seasons in one go. Most fans took to social media to express their frustration, with some even calling it a schoolboy error on Netflix's part. But there's a reason behind this decision. Snowpiercer is produced by TNT, and it airs on terrestrial TV in the United States. So it has to be released every week to comply with TV schedules. But despite this, the show still manages to captivate us all with its epic opening scenes and storylines. Sure, the show could have ended a long time ago, like the movie it's based on, which tells the story of humanity's struggle to survive on a moving train that circles the globe, and thought-provoking drama. But, again, even that had an ending where everybody died because of an avalanche. Of course, fans wanted the TV series to end in the same way. I mean, it's been a long time coming. The constant cast changes, the long wait for new episodes, and the fact that it originates from a movie all point toward a definitive ending. Let's just hope the showrunners take a cue from the movie and give fans the closure they deserve. Because right now, we don't know what twists and turns await us in the upcoming episodes. Well, that's it from me about why Snowpiercer should have ended after Season 3.